What's up, everybody? This is Kieran Reese, otherwise known as the Obsessive Compulsive Gamer, the O.C.G. And I'm hopefully live with Liza P. I've been meaning to go back and complete Liza P again in the lead up to the DLC, but now that it was recently revealed you have to have a fully completed save file, beat the game to access the DLC, I'm coming back. In honor of their great writer, Carlo Collodi. The actual creator of Pinocchio, by the way.
Geppetto's puppet. We need your help.
I know that it's like it was my ass and say me do my hand do it right now.
Ah, there you are. I've been looking all over for you. I see they got Jiminy too. But we have to hurry. My name is Jiminy, please escort him to the hotel. Let's get you out of there. Find something that might help. But the streets are not safe. Arm yourself with one of the weapons over there. It'll be helpful on your way to the hotel.
Destination Hotel Court. Recommend escaping from this location.
God, I love this game's world. about that.
You cannot see in the dark. Stay on and you will light the way.
That was my bad.
This is called a stargazer. A marvelous device the Stalkers used in the past.
Warning. Puppet threshold exceeds danger estimates. Please reduce puppet numbers or reset danger parameters.
As we are not strong enough to beat the puppets. But if I lend my power to this stargazer for a moment... Gather ergo, clever one. This stargazer will make you stronger. But the stargazer's strength doesn't last forever, so be careful with it. Hurry up and come to Hotel Krat.
Surprise, bitch! Rick James!
Dear citizens of Krat, the recent puppet frenzy is believed to be just a momentary glitch. There is no cause for alarm. Do not panic, whatever you may hear. The city is safe to traverse. We repeat, do not be alarmed, citizens of Krat. We are effectively handling the situation, with the cooperation of the workshop and the alchemists. The puppets are, naturally, imprinted with the grand covenant that prioritizes human safety above all. Please remain protests. Never forget that your safety is of the utmost importance to your safety. The time for fear is over. Krat is safe. Krat is safe.
Oh yeah, seems super safe to me.
Destination Hotel Krat. Optimal location for observing the destination.
Yeah.
A powerful parade puppet is blocking the entrance, and that's the only way in. So please, be careful.
Just taking this to kind of fill up my focus bars. It's good to start a boss fight with a full bar. Well, 3 full bars to get the point. There we go.
Hello there! Welcome to Krot, visitor. I didn't think there were any stalkers left to fight the puppets. You didn't hear? Figures. The whole organization fell apart. All that's left are wannabes and amateurs who think they can fight on their own. You ought to buy something while you're at the festival. You can't rely on yourself alone. Out here alone? You could use some help. Here's a festival gift for you. Now get yourself something useful. Out here alone?
attention. The hotel's security excludes puppets like you. So you'll have to lie to get inside. You're a special puppet after all.
Welcome to the sanctuary of the Grand Covenant. Prove your identity. Who are you? Grand Covenant's fourth rule. A puppet cannot lie. Welcome to Hotel Grot.
I'm so happy to see you. I am Sophia. I've been waiting for you. Searched all over the city of Krat to find you. You must have questions. Geppetto will have answers. But we have to find him first. He was last seen on Elysian Boulevard. All of Krat is dangerous for humans, and that neighborhood is one of the scariest. Please find Geppetto on Elysian Boulevard. I'll explain more once you find him. Look at Gemini. I think he's in shock.
Gemini is fine.
That's proof you're broken. The real Gemini isn't so calm. I'm no inventor, but perhaps I can fix him. Or perhaps he'll fix himself in time. Wait, take this pocket watch. Krat is a labyrinth of peril right now. This watch will guide you to a safe place. Be careful, clever one. I'll use my power to help you. Ergo is the miracle that made Krat prosper. Without Ergo, there would be no automated puppets to make Krat wealthy. When you move, you tap into the power of Ergo within you. Gather more Ergo. It will make you stronger. In the folklore of Krat, a cricket often acts as a guide. That is why these automated models became popular. But Gemini is unique. He's more than just a guide. As you get more familiar with Gemini, you'll see what I mean.
Welcome to Hotel Krat. My name is Polendina, butler to Lady Antonia. Please let me know how I may be of service. At Hotel Krat, comfort and calm walk hand in hand. Welcome to Hotel Krat. How may I be of service? The Grand Covenant is a set of absolute commands imprinted on puppets when they are made. First law. All puppets must obey their creator's commands. Second law. A puppet may not harm humans. Third law. A puppet protects and serves humans and the city of Krat. Fourth law. A puppet cannot lie. I've told you about the laws engraved upon every puppet. Do you require anything else?
Unexpected guests are welcome. We don't insist on reservations. I am Antonio, and this is my hotel. Welcome. Oh, I knew from the moment we met that you're Geppetto's puppet. He might have a few loose screws, but Geppetto's skills are undiminished. It's a shame. He took off for Elysian Boulevard, and he never came back. If it doesn't turn up soon, we'll have to make a new coffin. Oh, I forgot. I was keeping this for him. It comes with a long story, but I think it's better off with you. Please find that old man, and do take care of yourself out there. People have no idea so many secrets are buried in Krat. Thanks for keeping me company. What are you curious about? I see you're here. That means you can lie. Your lies are a rare ability. You're able to choose your own path, unbound by anything. People on the outside are still afraid of puppets. Lie to protect yourself and find your path. I'm an old friend of Geppetto's. His son is like family to me. Make yourself at home. You're always welcome here at the hotel. If you have any questions, ask my butler, Hollandina.
I heard about you from Geppetto, but to see you in person... Wow! You should take this. Geppetto left it with me. Sound of it alone. That craftsmanship comes only from the hands of Geppetto. You must be something else. A custom arm from Geppetto himself is quite an accessory. Oh, I forgot to introduce myself. I am Eugenie from the Workshop Union. I know my way around weapons of all kinds. I'm sure Master Geppetto would agree. If any of your weapons need work, bring them to me. I know my way around a weapon. Want me to look at something? A stargazer is a survival device used by the stalkers. It powers itself by accumulating and absorbing ergo spores in the air. The stalkers installed stargazers all across the city. Once they're recovered, we can put them to use. If you want to test your skills or try new techniques, head for the garden. The stalkers captured a puppet to use for training. Don't look at me like that. Everyone hates puppets. I know whose side you're on.
Hey, they didn't do them, bro. Now. I'm trying to do something very particular. I need you like a Sunday morning. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba. And the beat keeps running, 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 running. In this context, there's no disrespect. When I bust my rhymes, you break your neck. Nigga like a Sunday morning. Ooh.
Hey, let's be more careful. The Black Rabbit Brotherhood. I hate these guys. But don't be alarmed. My name is Gemini. We'll talk later, when we're safe. I'm Gemini, your friendly puppet guide. Or friendly guide puppet? I don't know, one of those. I'm also a friend of Sophia's. Last time I woke up, Sophia was there because she woke me up. But I'm sure there are still other memories in there. Sorry. Must be the shock. Bear with me, and I'll do my best to guide you. Beacon Boulevard was a regular rich people row. You wanted fancy boutiques and shops. No place better. But that was long ago, before the puppet frenzy.
Yeah, that's my bad. 1 second, I'll be right back. I have to use the bathroom. Ugh. Hey, hey, hey! Alex! Yeah. Yeah, man, crazy impressive that you got the platinum trophy for Minecraft, dude. Although I actually looked it up, and it turns out that that 100 days isn't just for the one world; it's for any worlds. So basically, it's just how long, ever long you've played. But it can't be in a multiplayer world. So if you were playing it multiplayer a lot, then that's probably why I didn't give it to you already. Even though that's fucking stupid. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. It wasn't only just recently, like, in the last 6 months, they came out with the native PS5 version of Minecraft. There you go, then. Yeah. That's one of the things I love about Sony. They just keep it fucking simple with the names. Xbox is like, we call it this, we gotta call it that. You know, Xbox One, Xbox Series, like it's a car. But PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3. You know? Portable. Really fucking simple. what a bitch. So it's like, you don't need to question, they're going to call it PlayStation 720. No, they're just going to call it fucking PlayStation 6. And I'm fine with that. You don't need to, like, get super weird with the fucking naming. Yeah. No, I mean, it makes sense, dude. Like, Steam Deck is not exactly the most powerful thing in the world, but, dude, the GameCube was only 33 megabytes of RAM, man. Ish. Okay, so, yeah, even the Steam Deck should be able to blitz GameCube games. No fucking problem, man. And all of them, not just whatever fucking poultry selection they decide. And yeah, I'm not gonna buy it either. One, I think it's overpriced. And two, fucking Mario Kart World, or whatever the fuck, is not going to make me buy a system, you know. And on top of which, the only other Switch game I really want that's coming out this year is Metroid Prime 4, which is coming just to the regular Switch. So and it just seems like on Switch 2, it's just going to be a high resolution. So it's not like, oh, Metroid Prime 4 is going to be, oh, so much better. No, it's going to be just, slightly high resolution. I don't fucking care. So, no, I don't plan to get the Switch anytime soon. Now, when they come to their senses and they bring the price down and they get some exclusive games that are really good that I would buy a Switch 2 for, then yeah. I didn't buy a Switch at launch either. I waited a couple years until, they had a lot of games that I really liked.
Why, hello! I didn't know anyone was alive out here. I know what you're thinking, but I'm not a burglar. I'm just crashing in an abandoned house for a while. Don't worry, I won't cause any trouble. We survivors need to look out for each other. For your information, I didn't steal this.
I love this game so much, and I'm so fucking stoked for the DLC that's coming. It's going to be pretty soon. We don't know exactly when. They said summer, but they're already. Besides the fact that summer's just around the corner, they're already showing off like immense preview builds, and it seems like it's nearly finished. So I would honestly say probably June or July. I wouldn't say late summer like August. And the DLC is beyond massive. It's basically like another fucking game. Which is pretty crazy. I think you would like this game too. Like I said, this game gets exponentially better the farther you get into it. And I've been meaning to replay it because the DLC was coming out, and I haven't played it, you know, very heavily since launch. But they were just saying that in order to play the DLC, you need to beat the main game. And I didn't have a completed file, so I just said, fuck it. I'll get into it now. Plus, you know, I don't want to marathon it right before the DLC and get burnt out. So if I do it now, then we know there's, you know, another month, 2 or 3 between now and the game, you know what I mean? So I can have it fresh in my memory, but not just go immediately, you know, from it, because I will get burnt out doing that. But I have played countless Souls-likes. Because I'm a huge fan of the genre. I played all the noteworthy ones and quite a few that I'm sure you've never even heard of. And while I like a lot of them and they run the gamut of quality, there are very few that, in my opinion, could be favorably compared to FromSoft games. Many imitate them. Very few have actually came close to actually being them. And I think that Liza P is, honestly, in my opinion, just as good as a FromSoft game. The best FromSoft games. I mean, not really Elden Ring, because that's fully open world, and this is not, so that's not a fair comparison. But Bloodborne, Sekiro, I would put Liza P up against any of those games. It is fucking phenomenal. And like I said, it was made by a first-time studio on a shoestring budget. Small team, and yet what they accomplished is fucking absurd. And they're super friendly. They worked with the game, you know. Liza P already came out, and it was already really good. They just kept making it better. They really took into account fan feedback and greatly improved it based on stuff that people were saying. Then they added a bunch of free content, a bunch of cool shit, collaborations with other games. Hell, they're even with the DLC that's coming out, they're going to release an update around the same time. Well, actually, the same time. And it's going to add a boss rush mode where you can replay your bosses, and it gives them like additional difficulties. and you can unlock unique cosmetics by fighting harder versions of the regular bosses, but more than that, they're actually adding difficulty modes, since that's such a fucking hot topic button of contention. I have mixed feelings about it in general, the discussion of difficulty settings in these games, because I'm trying to find the way to put it. On the one hand, I do understand wanting to make it more accessible, because ultimately, as a game, in order to be profitable, you need to sell. And a lot of people won't play Souls-likes specifically because of the difficulty. So on the one hand, I understand that, trying to make it more accessible. On the other hand, one, I don't think that it should be mandatory to include difficulty modes. It should be up to the developer's discretion. And they shouldn't feel forced to include something if they don't want to. And two, because these games, the core idiom that they go by, essentially, is tough but fair. And in order to make that tough but fair, you have to have meticulous balancing. And it can be really tempting to throw that balancing out of the window and just say, well, just play it on easy then. You know? Whereas, when they make the game and it's got the one difficulty, they have to make sure that that is fully balanced and fine-tuned. Otherwise, people aren't going to play the game. You know, instead of just saying, well, they can just play it on easy if they don't like our balance. You know?
I wish we could play together. Like we used to.
Ultimately, it doesn't really matter. Because basically, so the game is going to have 3 difficulties now. The hard difficulty is going to be called Legendary Stalker, and it's going to be the base game as it is now. So, not going to change anything. And then there's going to have one tier below that that's easier, I guess, and then they're going to have another one below that that I guess is really easy? I don't know. So ultimately, it doesn't really matter to me, because the game is already meticulously balanced as is. It's very tough but fair, and there's a few spots here and there that I think are slightly bullshit, but honestly just slightly, and I think in general it's a very well balanced game, so this is just making it easier for people to get into. But some people might see this, they'll be sold out, man. Yeah, I'm saying I don't really mind it. I'm just saying I don't feel like them trying to force it on people, or to make say that, oh, it's for handicapped people. The game's journalists who are calling for easy modes in these games do not give one fucking shit about handicapped people. They're saying that because they're not okay, and that to me is duplicitous and shitty. And it also, because it's a fine line that you have to walk, because games being more accessible can be good, but there is such a thing as being too accessible.
We could play together.
Not every game needs to appeal to every person. There's been this mentality that every game has to appeal to every demographic. And besides the fact that you can't really have something that appeals to everyone due to the nature of how people are different, it's okay to have a product, movie, game, book, song, whatever, that caters to a specific audience. Say, I'm making this type of game for this type of people. And if you don't like that, well, then I'm sorry, but okay. And when you push to making a specific type of game for everyone, you can't make a specific type of game. So, it's a fine line. You know what I mean? And they have to be careful, because the thing about the Souls community, it's a double-edged sword. Or the fandom for people who like Souls-likes, because I would say it's more than just, the FromSoft games, is these types of games you either love them or you hate them. Due to the very particular way that they are designed, I almost never see somebody say, Dark Souls, meh. Elden Ring, eh. It's always, fuck Elden Ring, or, oh my god, I love Elden Ring. These are the type of games that inspire extremes from people. And so, obviously, the people who are buying these games, Liza P, Lords of the Fallen, what have you, are in the I really like this. And those are the majority of the people that are going to buy this game. And it's a genre that is inherently designed for hardcore fans. And that's one of the things that, it's not exactly open to newcomers. So, I understand kind of catering to newcomers a little bit and trying to broaden the spectrum, because there are times when this genre can be kind of niche. But you also have to make sure that you don't piss off your dedicated fan base, because those are the people that are going to pre-order your game at fucking launch. They're going to buy all the DLC. They're going to get the deluxe edition. They're going to get the action figures and the shit like that. You know what I mean? And you don't want to piss them off. And if you make it too accessible for newcomers, you are going to lose that demographic. So, but with Liza P, they're doing it just fine. If they made the whole game easier as a whole, then that would be shitty. But they're not. They literally, okay, here's this difficulty. If you want to play it the way you've always played it, boom. If you want to lower it, you can. That's the proper solution.
Like we used to. Who is it? Is that you, Murphy? Oh, I guess not. Sorry, I thought you were my friend, Murphy. Murphy is a super cool police officer. As a puppet, even the petrification disease can't get him. I wish I was like him. You should leave so you don't catch the disease from me. If only we could play together like we used to. Murphy, I miss you.
Oh god, of course YouTube is being a whore. This game is so phenomenal, and it really, as I've said before, is a game that takes time to get to the really good stuff. It does not play its hand up front. This is a game that gets exponentially better. Like I've said before, when I first started playing, I'm like, yeah, this is pretty good. Then when I played further, I'm like, wow, this is pretty great. By the end of the game, I was like, okay, this is one of my favorite fucking games. I played the whole game on Game Pass because it was a day one Game Pass game. And then despite playing through the whole fucking game, day one on Game Pass, I still decided to buy this game for PlayStation because I wanted to own it. And that almost never happens. Usually, I play a game through Game Pass. I play it. I'm like, I don't really, I like the game. I enjoy it, but I don't really feel the need to own it. But that's what I'm saying. And I've, played the shit out of this game, and I probably actually will get the platinum. I have PS Plus right now, and it makes getting the platinum a lot easier. Instead of having to do 3 separate playthroughs, I can condense it down to about 1-ish. Because it's one of those things where you get a different ending. And, that's a trophy. And otherwise you have to play 3 separate times like fucking Bloodborne. And with the trophy, I can kind of condense that with the, so being able to upload my save states and shit. So... Ah, damn it. Oh well, not a big deal. I'm right there. You did a good kitty. I love you, Echo. You my favorite kitty. Wow. And the DLC for this, it honestly just looks fucking wild. It's a prequel to the main story. You go back in time, which is another Soul staple, I guess, weirdly, and get to see the city before it was as destroyed as it is now. And they like reimagined the whole fucking game world, you know, and it's winter, so the world seems different in that regard because it's fucking blanketed in snow. There's entirely new places, you know, that were destroyed before, and that's on top of adding a shit ton of new areas. So, like, I was expecting it to be a pretty big DLC because it had been a while since the DLC came out. This came out in September of 2023. We're looking at almost 2 years. But I didn't think the DLC was going to be as big as it is, where it's got fucking huge new areas. And it's like, now we're just going to pretty much redo the whole fucking map. Because it's, you know what I mean? It's not like a slight swap. Like, you're seeing these areas before they were destroyed. So they're like, yeah, let's just fucking rebuild entire massive chunks of the base game for this different time period. Fuck the police! No justice, no peace! Plus, this game is roughly about 30 hours. And they're saying that even for, like, super experienced people who know exactly what they're doing, it should take over 20 hours to the DLC. And they're talking about beating it. So I'm sure if you actually take your time and fully do everything, which I intend to do, really take my time and enjoy it, probably get about as much content as the fucking base game. So that is absurd. And it's coming out, it's going to be $30, which the original game was $60, so they're asking you to pay half the price of the base game for over half the content, so it's really well priced.
This must be your first time in the petrification disease quarantine zone. For most people, this is their last stop. You are a good Samaritan for coming all the way here. Kind one, may I ask you a favor? My family took my baby from me and sent me here. They said it was for my own good, but it was heartless just the same. A baby must be with its mother. Please go to Krat City Hall and bring me my baby. Thank you so much, kind one. I can finally see my sweet Elena's face again. Please hurry. Hard scales spreading across my eyes. Before I lose my sight, please.
She said the baby was at City Hall.
You know, as I've stated before,
I hope everybody's safe.
my metric for DLC is that it should be priced equivalent to the amount of content in the base game, okay? Because obviously there are different genres and different lengths for those genres. So, a DLC for a shooter is going to be much shorter than a DLC for an RPG. So, the golden rule is whatever your base game's total content is, the DLC should match that. Okay? So, if your game, for example, is 6 hours, and it's $60, and you release a DLC for 20, that DLC better be $20. If your game is 60 hours, and it's $60, and you release a DLC for $20, it better be 20 hours. If you're charging however much a percentage of the base game's price for the DLC, it should always be related, deliver the same amount of content. You know, I know you love Call of Duty, you know, and Black Ops, okay? They way overcharge for the zombies modes. They'll charge like $30 for a zombies pack. So, like half the fucking game price, or at least it was then for those games. That's not really worth it to me. I mean, obviously, if you fucking love zombies like you do, then okay. But it's still, you're paying half the price of the game, and you're not getting half the price in content. Of course, you could also make the case that when you start out, you're usually getting one zombie map, and when you get the DLC packs or whatever, you're getting usually 2 or 3 more. So, you kind of make that case there. But you see what I'm saying? It needs to be equivalent to the base game in price. There's several games I played where the main game is really long. Yeah. There's several games where the main game is really long. But the DLC is really short. And it's like, really? And it needs to be equivalent, roughly. You know what I mean? So, that's my golden rule.
I'll use my power.
And at least with zombies, they, it is replayable, but, still.
I'll use my power.
I'm just using it as an example. Because like I said, I played games where the actual game is really long, but the DLC is really short, despite charging way more than they should for it. Dude, man, fucking Randy Pitchford. I meant to share it in the group, and I forgot. Randy Pitchford is like doing his fucking best, man, to sabotage the fucking hype for Borderlands 4, dude. And it is probably over nothing. Because people were talking about Borderlands 4. And, I think Borderlands 4 looks really good. It's not like at my top of my fucking must playlist. But it does look really good. And it definitely looks like they're fixing the main issue for Borderlands 3. Which was the shitty fucking humor. That, Borderlands has always been kind of cheesy. And it's not for everybody. It never has been. But I like the humor in the prior games. Borderlands 3, with those fucking villains, the twins, was just awful. So Borderlands 4 definitely seems like they're taking that to heart, and they're getting more back in line with the prior games. Okay? And it does look good. I like the gliding, I like, the more open areas. It actually looks pretty cool. But, so people were kind of scared that, they were gonna, charge more for Borderlands, 4, up the price to $80. I don't think that's gonna happen. Because Activision, or not Activision, Take-Two's not stupid, and they even are pricing Mafia, the old country, at $50, when they could have charged full price for that, because, they're trying to be, they know Mafia is not as big of a series as GTA, so I think they have a very level head on that. So I think Borderlands 4 is just going to be $70, but Randy Pitchford, who is notorious for being a fucking asshat, he's the leader of Gearbox, but he's a fucking chode. I believe I've mentioned to you guys before all the horror stories about Randy Pitchford. I call him Dandy Bitchford. Was saying, one, I don't control the price. Which, okay, cool. He could have said it. He could have said that, and literally, that would have been the fucking end of it, because he doesn't. Just because you work in the studio, it is the execs that make the price. Okay? But he was like, if you're a real fan, you'll get it anyway. You'll make it happen. So basically saying, like, they could make it whatever price, and if you're a real Borderlands fan, you'll buy it anyway. And that is just the dumbest fucking thing to say. Dude, just because I'm a fan of Borderlands, or people are a fan of Borderlands, doesn't mean they want to get fucked in the ass. Okay? And remember, there's nothing about this game price that's confirmed. Okay? It hasn't been confirmed one way or the other. It most likely will be $70. Take-Two has shown that they're not pricing everything full price. And like I said, I think it's a lot likely that it will be 70, because for Mafia, they could have, 70 or nothing. And instead they said 50 for brand new day one. So that to me demonstrates that they're flexible with the price, and that they're not looking to dick over everybody out of the gate. At least not on that, So I don't think it will be 80. So there, it's just, what he said was a lose-lose. Because if it is 80, then he's pissed people off more than was necessary. And if it isn't 80, which there's a very good chance it won't be, then he got people upset for no fucking reason. And like I said, if he just literally said, well, I'm not the one in charge of pricing, so I don't know. Boom. Could have said that. Fucking done. Didn't need to say anything else. It's not on his head. And everybody knows that the corporate execs decide the prices. So, it's like, why didn't you just fucking stop, man? It's like, I was with you in the first part of that sentence, and then you fucking lost me. And he's just such a chode. He's the reason why Borderlands 3 is a different voice actor for Claptrap. Because he didn't want to pay the actor for Claptrap any royalties. He wanted to pay him, like, base salary, which is a couple $1,000s, despite Claptrap being the fucking mascot for the series, and his voice being iconic. He, like, the actor for, Claptrap didn't want to be paid a ridiculous amount. He wanted to be paid the same as any of the other main voice actors, which, considering how much Claptrap is in the games, and how much he voices them, and the fact that in the pre-sequel, he literally is a main character, is a completely fair fucking request. And, literally, Borderlands is a $1 billion franchise, and they're saying we're going to pay you peanuts for being the fucking brand mascot. And plus, he worked at Borderlands. He worked at Gearbox until Randy pissed him off. So, like, he was a long-time employee, so it's like the people he worked with wanted to fuck him over. He literally, at the time, they had nobody else to voice Claptrap. And so he voiced lines, and they liked it so much it stuck. So it's like, he didn't have to voice Claptrap. He was already a high-up figure at the company, at Gearbox, and did it, So it's like, don't fucking screw him. And they did. Randy Pitchford punched him. And he actually took him to court and won. Because he was a fucking dick. So, you know, and then I told you guys about, like, how Randy Pitchford went to, like, an old medieval restaurant, and he had, like, a terabyte of porn on a flash drive that was just anime hentai girls squirting. Like, you cannot make that shit up. Hold on 1 second. I'll be right back. I'll use the bathroom real quick. He's the fucking guy that caused alien colonial marines to be such a fucking train wreck. I'm sure you've heard about that, right? You know, I'm sure you know about alien colonial marines, how it was just like one of the most disappointing games ever. Like, it really looked good and then it was just shit. That was because he took money from the game that should have went to development for that game and put it in his other projects like Borderlands 2, which, you know, Borderlands 2 was fantastic, but still, I'm sure he could have gotten money in another way. And then he outsourced it to, like, cheap Chinese developers, so the end result wound up fucking sucking. And it literally would have been a good game if he hadn't literally stole money that was supposed to be used for the development and then hired it to sweatshop workers. And that I'm a huge Aliens fan, and I thought that game looked fucking awesome, and he destroyed it. They had a policy at Gearbox. It was one of the best policies. People will get paid slightly less than industry average, but when their games came out, they would all get a bonus proportional to the sales of the game. So, like, when Borderlands 2 came out, and it was a fucking colossal success, there were people who were saying they worked at Gearbox that got a big enough bonus to buy fucking a house. Many Gearbox employees who worked at Gearbox for Borderlands 2 bought houses. Okay? So it was a fair trade-off. We're going to pay you a little bit less, but if you stick with us, when this game comes out, you're going to get a taste of those proceeds. I wish more game companies did that. But then Borderlands 3 came out, and despite it doing incredibly well, we'll see what you into about the reviews. People make fun of it. Borderlands 3 sold really well. I'm not sure the exact numbers, but it did really well. Didn't give anybody a bonus. He still got his bonus. Didn't give anybody else a bonus. So they just worked for much less than nothing for a $1 billion franchise. Like, he is such a fucking bitch. He literally is one of the biggest douchebags in the gaming industry. And there's a lot of fucking douchebags in the gaming industry, unfortunately. And this is just like the newest debacle. And it's like, why? Why is he still working there? He can't be worth it. I mean, this is a guy who, when people came to see a fucking Borderlands presentation, he made everybody wait half an hour so he could watch his personal magic tricks. Like, nobody came to see your fucking magic tricks, dude. Put the fries in the back. Are we here to see Borderlands? What, bro?
Come out, Geppetto! You've got a lot to answer for.
You know, if he wants to do magic and shit on his free time, cool. But people came to see fucking Borderlands. They didn't see you come to pull a rabbit out of a hat. What are you doing? This is not fucking show and tell. This is not you bringing up a project in front of the teacher. What? Oh, just like some of the stuff is just like, what? Like the anime hentai porn. You know what? He can watch all the anime hentai girls squirting that he wants to, okay? What I'm questioning, the part that really gets me, why did he need to have that on him? That is something that you fucking leave at home. It's like he literally, he so needs to be able to see anime hentai girls squirting at any given moment, that he has to have that flash drive on him at any given time, just in case he's got to pull aside and do that? Why would you keep that with you to begin with? That's the craziest part. You couldn't wait till you got home? Or to keep it in the office? I mean, you know, I'm not really a fan of somebody cranking it at work, but that, you brought it to a restaurant? And I mean, I get it that it was an accident, and you know, there's worse things that people have been found on a flash drive. It could have been CP, but it's like, this could have been avoided with just the barest amount of fucking foresight, bro. Why would you need to be traveling with your porn on you?
You know what caused the puppet frenzy, don't you? You're their maker, practically their father. You and the alchemist scheming together. Tell me the truth. What's your problem? I'm here for the old man. Get lost. Wait. Or more like, I know what you are.
You know, it's not even like he's the main director, by the way, of Borderlands games. He's like the creative producer, okay? So it's other people who direct Borderlands. So it's like, at this point, man, if I was Take-Two, I would just fucking fire him. Like, at this point, what he's making the Borderlands a fucking joke. He's definitely gonna be doing more harm than good to the brand at this point, man.
Cursed puppet! Back again!
And now, probably the most unforgivable thing he's done is now he's wearing his hair long like a mullet. Okay? You know, so fucking harassing your employees, weird anime squirting porn, punching people in the face. I mean, okay, I can live with it, but a fucking mullet in 2025, that is where I draw the line. You are not Joe Dirt. Obviously, I'm just joking. But it's just like, he somehow manages to become more and more douchey every second. Like, it's honestly a feat. I'm just waiting for him to grow a fucking neckbeard and start wearing a fedora. That's where we're headed.
I demanded the truth. Now I feel bad for my comrade.
I bet he fucking forces everyone in Gearbox to eat pineapple pizza. That fucking monster. He just makes everybody at Gearbox play as Claptrap in the pre-sequel. Nobody can play any other character. Like, Randy, you fucking bastard.
It's a dream come true. Seeing you like this. I understand why some people despise me. I invented the puppets after all. I should take responsibility as their maker. But in order for me to do that, I need to take care of the puppets at City Hall. Won't you help me, son? Take this. You'll find it most useful. I want to hear all about your experiences, but now isn't a good time. Use the Stalker's key to open the bridge door. Then, get rid of the frenzied puppets that have seized City Hall. We'll catch up at Hotel Krat when you're done.
So about that weapon assembly tool you were talking about. If you find any more weapons, let's try using them here.
Damn it. Yeah, I can switch my outfit. I also like the fact that the costumes in this game are not tied to stats. You have gear parts, like mechanical parts that change your stats. So, I just wish that fucking FromSoft would take the fucking hint and have a transmog system, man. Like, I hate having to choose the gear that I think looks the coolest, or the gear that gives me the best stats in a hard game where it could really help. I shouldn't have to choose. Transmog honestly just needs to be a thing. Yeah, fucking Elden Ring Night Rain. Elden Ring Night Rain. I don't know why I was having such a hard time saying that. It's coming out later this month, and I honestly could not give a shit less.
No survivors here. What do we do? Just give her that baby puppet?
I'm not a big fan of Battle Royale in the best case. So, I mean, I'm glad for people who are excited for it, but I really don't care.
I'll use my power.
Yeah, I love it because you can use the cat to judge your humanity. It doesn't like you at first because you're more robotic, and as your humanity grows, the cat starts to like you. And your appearance starts to change. Hello. Alright, I love you, bye. Alright, man, I'm gonna take a short break. I have to take my medicine and I have to walk the dog. I'll be back in a little bit if you want to keep watching. If not,